like
those families.
So when I saw, first of all, the community, so that in itself was so beautiful. I've always said, like, after Kate passed away and after, all that crap, whenever I was in my 20s, it just made Jackson just, and Kate kind of have that, I don't really want to go back. But I felt like I lost my community for a little bit. I always prayed that, that I would find something similar.
You did.
The roots to build, to establish. I told Rusty, I was like, when we left school, I was like, I just want to establish myself. We could have traveled. We could have, like, waited to have kids. But we wanted to root somewhere. We wanted to make a difference somewhere, and it's brought us to here, and it is all in God's plan. Like, it is. There's not, I look, oh my gosh, my guidance throughout, like, my profession and the people, the clinicians that I've had a pleasure to, like, be around is just phenomenal. And so having that community found, especially seeing it yesterday, was really cool. But I just remember, oh my gosh, Mom, those were the first, like, I hadn't had any flashbacks of Jason's stuff for a really long time. But seeing all that red and remembering Schaefer's, oh gosh, my senior year, so hard. I was so lost. And that's when Katie and I really first started, like, separating in our relationship. Like, I felt like I just lost her. And I needed her. And she knew that. Well, I don't know if she knew that at the time. She knew that later on life, because we talked about it. She hated that she wasn't there for me during that time because I was lost. I don't think kids realize when so young, because the frontal lobe hasn't developed. You see, it's science. It's exactly science. Right. So I remember when Jason passed away. Oh my gosh. It was like one of my best friends just gone.
Like your brother.
And it was, how growing up, we had a great, fantastic. Yes, there was you and Dad. Like, I couldn't have asked for a better childhood.
Thanks, I'm glad. We sure wanted it that way.
All that red yesterday, and remembering, and seeing how these high schoolers and grade schoolers are now going through that feeling, and that's something that I can relate to. It loss. And maybe that's what my God's mission is for me, is to help people. I don't know, but all I know is I just have to lead with my heart. I've said that from the beginning, and I keep having, as my faith increases, like, that is it. That is the answer. We're looking, I've been searching for all these things, but really, I think this is the biggest priority, Canva, website, blah, 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 business, blah, blah, blah. My relationship with Christ took a back burner for a bit. So, but it just brought back a lot of memory. It's just seeing that and all all how crazy is it that community pulled together? Our community, mine. I'm part of that now. Rusty and I are part of something, you know.
Well, your children attended that, and part of that.
Oh, Daddy, and that's
is your
the
feeling
thing.
for that location.
Golly, no, it's family. Like that. Like when you go. I think it's like this with any daycare provider. I mean, Pleasant Park's a great example. Gina and Tony, they take them in whenever. Like, this is how our kids work. I mean, this is how most of the times it works. They take them in till they're, from the time that they are breastfeeding till about, second, third grade. And then they go to Why Not for their after, or the kindergarten, and so then they stay at Why Not till they're about, sixth grade, fifth or sixth grade, and we always know Joe's there after school, and the counselors are fantastic, and the kids are always going to play, and they're not going to be on their devices, and they're gonna, it's a great, that is, and we could drop them off in the summer and know that they had,
things to do, fun things to do.
Yeah, and for someone like because I think his name's Jamie, he developed it, thought of it, and it's such a great program, and it's helped my kids so much. So if there's any way that I can give back in any way, I don't know, maybe this is another God. Like, I've had the ability to do things that I wouldn't have been able to do if I was at Saints, there's just, I don't know.
I feel the owner of that, but he had a really nice long comment. I don't know if it was on Channel 4 or if it was on Fox, the website, but it was really compassionate, because so he started this place in 2002, and he said,
who was that, Kelly?
I think his name's Jamie. Jamie Loftus.
Jamie, that's right.
He's
you can tell that by what I read and what he said, that what you said, they are family.
It's where our babies go.
No.
And grow up.
And that right there, that right there was the to see, and Daddy, this is. I remember reading my words yesterday, and so I was talking about my college girls, right? In my book I was writing, and how much, oh my gosh, I would love, my heart would be so full if they were all in the same room, all together, all here, to have them all together would be phenomenal. And then I thought yesterday to see the community and to see everyone pull together, and that I get to see some of my best friends that I hadn't seen forever, and made me think, please don't have me have all my best friends together for my funeral.
I felt the pain that those kids that work together must be feeling at this time, and it does fall back when you lost Jason. I can remember going to that service, and all the kids were there, and they were crying, and
it hit me. That service.
I could understand that.
That funeral. To recall that and to see, yes, oh gosh. But
and then you think about Mrs. Schaefer, what she went through after losing Jason, and she lost another one.
She lost another son.
And she's
such a beautiful woman.
Your mother and Mrs. Schaefer communicate with Christmas cards, and
we don't see each other. We don't hardly ever see each other.
It's just really nice because they grasp the sorrow that they both feel for losing kids.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, we're all in the same club that we don't want to be in.
Exactly. Like, that's the best way to put it, Mommy. We're all in the same club we don't want to be in. But we are.
John Marshall said the same thing to me when he saw me after Kate died. He said, you know, Kenny, you're part of a club that no one wants to be involved in. But he said you can't avoid it. He said you won't be the first one, won't be the last. Because he lost a 3-year-old son when he was just playing in the yard. They had an undetected heart ailment. And the kid just collapsed and died. So I think, you know, we find out that many times in all my reading, especially in Living Faith, that they're very good about reminding about this is a journey. This isn't permanent. And
oh, right. Like that is one thing that I am embodying, is that we're building a soul for eternity, not living this. I mean, we're doing that through living our life, but like this is just a part. And it's a beautiful part. I'm very fortunate in this life. Has there been some ups and downs? Absolutely. But I think that's one reason why I can go forward. And maybe I needed to go, you know.
You look back at the.
Maybe. Which is, my 20s is going to be the hardest. Like, that's not even, like, I could talk about Kate's stuff all day, every day, and rather talk about that than, and I lock and key that and I don't want to anymore. I don't want to hide my sister. I don't. No, that's what I feel like, Mom, because I can't tell her story. I can't tell, because then people ask, well, what happened? And I want to tell them. I want to tell them that the pain got so intense, so unbelievably. And she prayed. I want people to see her words. And I want them to see how much she absolutely, to the very end, was with God. Because she was. And it is in her words. And it is in her writing. And it is passion. And it is burning. And for someone to see that, and if that would help one person to even understand these little things that no one can comprehend because they haven't understood the full-on picture, that's when you start understanding, like, that's when I find peace again. It's where I have found peace, and now I'm just kind of evolving it, is I will get to see my sister again. Are you kidding me? And I want her to be so, like,
I was thinking about those 4 people.
It's fantastic. It's such a cool thing. Like, this is just a part of our life. And we probably have had, our soul. Can you imagine? Like, it's beautiful. And it's something that is hard. But that's why this life is hard. But it's worth it. Like, it's worth trying to avoid temptation. It's worth being there. It's worth, what do you fill your life with? Things that are worthy, you know? What defines worth? It's not money for me. Like, for me, it's my family, God, my friends, my community. That's worth. That's priceless to me. And I feel God leading me, and it is such a cool thing. But I can't fight it, and I'm fighting it because I'm just not letting it go. Because I'm scared, and I'm afraid of what you and Dad will have to go through again. That's huge. I don't want to see that. I can't see you and Dad be miserable again.
You're not going to make us miserable, Kelly.
I cannot see your face. I only have you on this life.
One thing you gotta remember.
No, Daddy, this is not your time to talk.
Okay.
I only have you guys for 20, maybe, if I'm lucky.
Maybe. I want to die before I'm 90. I don't want to be senile. I just want to go. I don't want to get.
We'll talk about Kenny and Joyce's death, but like, I need you guys, to know like what you guys went through. God, I saw it. And I don't want you to have to, and I think it is gonna help, like, our family grow, like, it already has, like, it already has, but I got scared when I let you read, or, like, let you hear those two, and after you heard the two, you know, you needed to process and things like that. And I thought I scared you, and I thought that you were gonna go down.
No, honey, no.
Because I don't want you guys to...
We're fine, aren't we, Kenny?
He can't hear you.
Oh, he can't hear me.
I can hear.
Oh. She said, we're fine, aren't we?
You don't have to be concerned about your father.
I
He
am.
can handle it.
Daddy, I know you can emotionally handle everything, but this is what I want you to fully take it, because this is coming from my heart.
Right.
I need you to start. Daddy, I need you to start just leaning back a little bit more. Like, just... Please don't overextend yourself. I know you wanted to go, Daddy. I know you want to go. But I cannot lose you. Not yet, Daddy. Do you understand me?
Mm-hmm.
So if that means slowing down when you're walking so you don't fall, or if that means...
I told my grandchildren yesterday, I said, without your mom and dad, I would not be here today. I said, I can't take you to Dunkin' Donuts, or I can't take you to some of the places in which we've been to and what we're going to go to. I said, your mom and dad were a blessing in my life. And I said, and you got to understand, I told them this. I said, Lord wasn't done with me yet.
Because he knows that I still need you, Daddy.
I told him, I said, you know, kids, I said, you're very young and you don't quite comprehend all this.
I don't, right? They don't.
They don't.
They
But
don't. But it's important no, we have to, because it enlightens them. It brings them into a different, and as long as it's guided in glory and light, it's good. And see, that's the thing is, on suicide, there's such a, there's that stigma. Of course, no one, but there are things that we cannot understand on this life. Mm-hmm. And there are things going on all around us that we don't even know about. And it is all his plan. The wind is his words. His creations are all around us. And they all are, we forget about it. We get caught up in life's chaos, and we forget that he made the trees. He said, I want flowers to grow here, and they grew, and just embodying that and taking that into that holistic picture of this is just this time, and I want my kids to know that this is our time on earth together. And so when it comes to when sometimes this life is not like God has another plan for us in another life, because this one wasn't working out. There is a higher, you don't think, Katie and God were always communicating. Always. I think that there were times that she felt she wasn't heard. And that's when it gets tough. When you feel like you're not heard. But she was heard, because she asked for, help to get through this. And I was there. She asked for, to help get away from some of the pain, and she was able to come up to Springfield. She asked for answers. We didn't have any, and I think she talked with God about that, and I think that he was talking with her, how we can get through this, because it was her decision to take the body that he had blessed her with, and of course that's just life, she didn't know that her anorexia was gonna cause malnutrition that was gonna then lead to a breakdown of everything. That's when it started. I don't know. I just am seeing things in a different way, and I look at suicide way different now. Of course, I always have. When people are afraid to talk about it, they're afraid to talk about suicide, and I've always been afraid to talk about it too, because then it brings up stuff with Kate. Well, now that I have her words and her guidance, and it's all through God, and I am finding this connection with God, and because I didn't understand, and I wasn't ready, it's patience. I had to be patient, right? I saw it everywhere. I had to be patient. Give me sign. Patience, finding a coin, but we have to see it. Finding a coin in my car yesterday said patient. Knowing that I've been praying for answers, knowing that I've been praying for patience to understand what my calling is right now, because I don't know it, and it's been frustrating. I've been frustrated, and because I just want to help. I just want to do God's word. I don't know what it is right now, but to fully embody the understanding of suicide to the point where you look at it as a communication relay with God, because that is his little person. I know there's a lot of people, but he sees us, each one, and he talks to every single one, and some of us talk back, and some of us, but he loves all of us. That's the thing. He loves all of us, and he's constantly talking. So if one of his babies gets to the point where because he loves us, and if one of his babies gets to the point where they are so unbelievably to the point where this life is just not in his life, with him, then I believe that's when he says, yes, come back to me. You're not happy here. Come back to me. That's how I view suicide. And people don't see it that way. And maybe that's what my job is. I have a view unlike no one else to have not only the history not only like the patient physical therapist relationship with my sis, like for 8 years, that you constantly, you know, like, because that right there tells a lot. Anytime a physical therapist is with a patient for 8 years, you know it's drastic, and you know that is a tight relationship. Like, physical therapists and their patients are like this. We talk to our people at 2 to 3. I could talk to my patient probably. I could treat him in 2 hours, 100% 2 hours. Just talk to him, just to understand him, just to learn him. They're beautiful, you know. It's my patients are a blessing to me in so many ways, and
Did you tell them that?
oh, they all know that. They can hear it. They know when I give them a hug, I'm not just checking their spine, although I am checking if it is stiff. I'm not gonna lie. When I give you hugs, yeah, I'm checking your spine. But they know, they fill my heart. They fill my heart. Every single story. I see it. I see beautiful faces. I see these in my athletes. And I saw the turmoil and how lost these kids were yesterday, and how much I just wanted to just fully embody them and just hold them and just guide them to God's will and just pray. And just because we don't have the answers. We don't. We can try. Oh, we can try and we can put blame, but please don't. Please don't. You know, like, don't make this situation worse by placing blame. That's what Satan would want. That's what the devil would want. To make a situation like this, in a fault, like, to make it towards evil. It's bringing our community. We just need. Look at it. It's awful. It happened. Like, it's awful. It's awful. It's awful. And I think about my babies. And I think about the teacher that said goodbye to those kids for the day, thinking they were going to see them tomorrow. And how much, how much those 4, and not even 4, like, I don't even know, like, there could still, people are still in the hot, yeah. But
From I read yesterday, one of them still in critical condition.
Well, yeah.
So they lost a staff member.
The tragedy, those 4 were smiling last night. So they looked down and said, we were really loved by this community. Oh. And it's a way in which...
It's how you look at... they're all around God. And he's got his arm around him. And he said, he's got him. And they're looking down and seeing all of their beautiful people. And they don't feel alone. They won't be alone. They'll be with him, and they'll be happy, and they'll live a beautiful life in eternity. If not, go back when he's ready to put our beautiful soul where it needs to be in that specific time. We might come back. We might not. It's his soul, like.
You would never want to go back to life once we're in heaven.
Yeah.
You never want to go back.
But if he says go, we go.
Then you go.
Father Steve sat next to me when the night Dad died. And he sat down next to me and he said, Kenny, he said, I know your dad was young when he died. But he said, if he could come back today, he would not come back.
But if God said
he put his arm around me, and he said, believe that. And it helped clarify a lot of things for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had 5 days prepared. Dad was going to die, even though I didn't know it at the time. But when he grabbed my hand and he said, "You took care of your mother."
See, I didn't know. I wasn't expecting.
I
You
wasn't
weren't?
alive. I don't know what's going on.
Really
You weren't
ill.
there.
I don't
He
know
was
anything about Grandpa,
He,
by the way.
he
Like, nothing.
we were taken to the hospital for tests. He finally agreed to go. So, and Mom was still working part-time.
And how old was he?
71. And
he finally agreed to go?
yes, because he'd been sick for about 3 months.
Yeah, and his stomach protruded.
It wasn't that bad. It was, he died of COPD. That's what's on his death certificate. But, Dad smoked he smoked all his life, except for a year and a half. Well,
But what happened to his abdomen?
Let me correct myself.
Yeah.
Let me correct myself.
Yeah.
Dad never smoked one cigarette until he went to World War II.
That's right.
When he went to war, that's when he started smoking.
Mm-hmm.
And he came back and he never could get away from it. But as I talked to him and we talked about World War II, and the only way he answered questions with me was if I asked him. He never talked about it. And he talked about all the veterans that went over there, and I talked to their siblings, and their dads never talked about it.
It's a horrible
And I asked Dad one night, I said, "Why don't you ever talk about the war?" And he says, "Kenny, this is what happened." He said, "I'd be laying in a tent with all my friends, and they had my back." And he said, "We'd go out on patrol, and I'd come back the next night, and some of them weren't there." And he said, "That's why you find a lot of veterans not talk about it." But as he told me, when we finally agreed to go into the hospital, I went over that morning and to make sure everything was packed. He was supposed to pack his own bag. Mom was working because we had to be able to check in at 1 o'clock. And I said, "Dad, I've got some paperwork I need to clean up before I can come back." He said, "Sit down there and have a cup of coffee with me, son." And we sit there and have a cup of coffee together. And, I left, got my paperwork done, and came back. And Mom was sitting in the back seat. And I as of this day, if he and I were riding together, I remember him grabbing my hand, those strong, rough hands of his. He grabbed it with a lot of compassion. He said, "You take care of your mom." And I looked at him in the eye and I said, "Dad, you don't have to worry about that." I said, "I will take care of her." He said, "I know you will."
You did.
So, we talk about missions, and I told the kids, we were talking, I said, we could go anywhere. I could have went anywhere I wanted to when I got out of college, but for some reason I was driven to stay in Jackson. Come hell or high water, I was going to raise my family there. And we went through a lot of bumps financially. But you know what? Lord, we had a roof over our head, food on the table, and we made it. And what's always cool about we four sitting at that table at night, no distractions. We talk about our days, and they were always
I
very.
miss that. It's so hard. And that's something that we, even if it's just a Sunday, or just trying to schedule in, know that this, because by the time they're in high school, I want them to know we're going to be eating, your butt back gets back here at 6 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? I want to establish that now, because I've dropped the ball, but we get caught up. We get caught up.
Why?
And there's excuses, and that's what they are, is excuses. And I know, and we're trying, God knows we're trying. And if we ask, He'll give you answers. He'll give you a way to think of the answers, but what His path, not a secondary, oh, if this, like a bargaining. So, I don't know.
Those are always very good times in which we had the opportunity to sit there.
The reason me, John, Jesse, Michael, Matthew, Thomas don't really know a ton about Grandpa at all. And I don't want that with my kids with their age. I want them to know everything about her. I want to talk about her and show pictures, and I couldn't do that even 6 months ago. So the growth that's coming from finding her words is glorious, and it's gifts in itself. So no matter what happens, it's already helped. But I just pray and hope that I just continue to follow in his path, whatever that is.
Kelly, do you think if Kelly would have never had anorexia nervosa, that she would have had all the physical, where she had to go have surgery and then close, he screwed it up?
Oh, 100%. She wouldn't have. If she would have had her nutrition, it probably wouldn't have happened. She had a breakdown. I mean, the female triad is why it's so passionate to me, is because it happened to Kate.
And I think that's
and no one saw it.
Yeah.
No, that has nothing to do. And that's the thing. Kate's story is more than suicide.
Exactly. That's
Kate's story, that's what when you were like, I just don't want to talk, the suicide, but that's a little bit. That's just a little. That's how it ended, but that's not her.
That's not
the big take-home picture. She encompassed herself, her own belief of herself in an object, in your sport, in your athletic. My loves, my loves, my athletes, I tell them this, and I mean it. You are not defined by your sport. You define your sport. You are not you are not an athlete because of the sport. You are an athlete because of the drive, the determination, the work ethic that's put in. That is an athlete. You can be as talented as you want and still be a good athlete. A great athlete, to me, a great athlete is, of course, there's talent, but a great athlete, once more, a great athlete has determination and drive and needs to be molded to make sure that it's surrounded in not in God's light, right? So the sport itself, knowing that and just appreciating that it's just a sport.
But when you say you're driven and an athlete is one who wants more, then sometimes that makes me think, Kate always wanted more. Nothing would be, it just was never enough.
But it's also because she didn't know another option, another way. But Katie was also very stubborn, and and so there's time, so I just look, there's that story. There's the ACL aspect. Okay. That's huge. Hello. That's why I very passionate in ACL. It's just keep going. And we keep going a little bit more in her life. And then we go through Ed, eating disorder. Remember Ed? And Ed played a big role in Kate's life for many, many years, 4 or 5 years. And then everything when everything started going okay with her med school, PA, because I think, honestly, Katie just wanted to find her purpose, what she was good at, what she, like, she always just wanted to be the best. And it was such a burning passion that she wanted so badly to be the best, but she didn't know what to be the best at, And I think if it wasn't centered around the sport, if it was centered about more, okay, why do you like the sport? Is it the team camaraderie? Is it the work ethic that you love about it? Is it the the recognition that you like about it? And why would you why do you need recognition? Like there's a lot of different things when it comes to sports psych, and that I've noticed. Like the kinesiophobia is the fear of movement after an injury. Like think of it as PTSD for an athlete, right? So that's a thing. And so there's a lot of different sports psych stuff, and not my expertise, but I've got experience in it, and it's because I have embodied my sister's story, like ACLs. What can we do now that would have prevented so my career has been like looking now has really been about understanding Kate's story too. Like understanding where the turns went wrong, or understanding the athlete's perspective. Like me, myself, Katie's, we were a different kind of athlete. Completely different kind. Yin to yang. Both very good, but different mentalities, and I think if there's some guidance that's needed in the youth, but it's like how, and now I see the answer, and it's through God. Like you have got to understand the connection of how beautiful the human body is, and what that sport, what your body is actually doing that you don't even understand. You can't even comprehend the science and the complexity, and that is all from God. Like he developed that. So you better be praying to him and thanking him, because it does. It sometimes I get a little mad because we're taking advantage of these wonderful things all around us, and we're like I sometimes I see myself getting real frustrated with my kids because right there, or they're on their tablet, or they're on their phone, and I'm talking to them, and I just want to talk to them because there's so much going on in life, and I just want to talk to my babies. I want them off their phone. I want to go on a walk. Like I just want to undistract. And I get that now, and I see why the table is so important, whether you eat at it or not. Like, just sit and talk to me. Like,
get off the devices.
Yeah.
When they see you and Rusty on the devices, they think, oh, I can be on the device too.
Well, yeah, and then there's a time. Like, so it's about finding the time, because it is impossible. You have to be on your device. You have to. But there's a time to put it away. And that means
we never had to.
Yeah, you guys had like, I mean, think of it. It's a completely no.
Do you have to be?
No.
I don't have to be.
No, when we're having a conversation, that's what I'm saying. We have times that it is appropriate to be on your, yes, I have to be on my device. I do. Do I want to? No, I don't want to be on my device. No. I hate being on the phone, but I have to, because my work's on it, my email's on it, my life is on it right now with my book, my kids. We have teachers constantly communicating with us. We have coaches constantly sending us things through apps. We're constantly getting, which is good. We need communication. It's a way how we communicate, but
do they have to be on their devices?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Our kids are on our device. Is that what you want to hear? Our kids are on our devices too much. We need to have time that we say no. Put it away. sitting at the table together.
We were sitting in the car yesterday, and
but it is. I'm done. I'm like, this is why we will not have because as soon as we said that Caden could, and he does, he texts me, and I like that. Like, I like that. But I'm not liking him having a phone. I wish there was a way that we could put that little texty thing on that watch you just got. But I mean, and this is the thing. But then we breathe, and we realize that, you know, everyone's going to have their answer, right? And, you know, to what it is, and really it's just a process of, it depends, and it's way different. And I know it's so hard for you to understand.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
It's hard, but you know what? That's the evolving.
Okay, so this is what I look at, Mom. This is when I say it's hard, because it is. I look at myself, and you gotta admit to it, okay? And so it's fine to admit to stuff. You know, it is harder. It is harder because I look at how much I'm struggling, just going from in my life, because we're the older millennials. The older millennials still understand the life before tech. Remember, like, it's so there's only there's just a few, like, I think there's like 5 years. So the phone started, like, where it was the Nokia, like the teenagers started getting the Nokias. Remember the phone?
The what?
Nokia. The phone, the Nokia.
Yes.
Nokia?
No, because Lyndon had one.
Nokia.
Yeah, Lyndon.
Nokia.
Lyndon
It was one of those, like, that you could just put on a card, and, you know, it was the very first.
Just for telephone.
This is cell phone.
Yeah. Just
When the cell phone came out.
Yeah. It didn't have all that other stuff.
That's correct.
No, well, okay, anyways, backtrack. No. So, when I was in my junior year, so 2004, okay, so this was 2004. The cell phones in the 90s were the ones that they were trying to make them mobile, right? So we figured out how to put it in the car, figured out how to put it, like, the Zach Morris phone. Remember the Zach Morris phone? That man. But they were still attached to the wall. Yes. They were the phone, you know, like, so you had two choices. You could have a phone that, first it was, you could have a phone that hung up to the wall, or now they make it so where you can take it around the house, right? But you guys have even another era that I don't remember, like, right?
Yeah,
before, like, you talk about your 8-tracks. You talk about your, you know, your cassettes. Like, you know, like, CDs are going vacant now. You know, like, there's this progression that we've gone from the tech stuff. And so in my world, I went from nothing, you know, like, there wasn't a lot of tech. And then all of a sudden there was cell phones. And then in college is when, you know, you had to have a computer, you know, like, you had to have some, you know, that's when it started, you know, and from then on, it's just progressed. And, you know, I look at just, and it is, and I feel like if we don't just stop and just be, and I think there's a lot of people too that are using tech to the advantage, like to get, for the people that can't read books. I don't have time to read a book, but I need mindfulness. podcast. Like, you know, like there are so many awesome people that have such a cool word on podcast that are just spread, that are just a different perspective on life that, you know, maybe you need at the time. Maybe, you know, that you get out of this.
Well, I know that there's advantages because I love art videos.
Well, of course there's we can't look at tech as a bad thing. Oh my gosh, no.
I think
but we have to find a way of balance.
Yeah, because if we put it as
it's
priority, as a number one priority, that's when it...
And it's hard for kids to see because look at a kid's perspective. Look at a baby. Okay. Like from a science world. As a baby develops, right? So a baby's developed. Have you ever seen a baby? Remember when they have that one toy and they just love to play with that one toy and they're like 6 months old and they're wobbling in their head and they're trying their hardest to play with that one toy because it's so intriguing to them, right? It's got mirrors. It can flap. It's got different colors. They've never seen something like that before. They're 6 months old. The world is new. Like what? When a kid has a device in their hand, that's the same. They're understanding that there's a world out there, but we have to, as parents, and I'm learning this. I am learning this. This is something I understand. Do not need to, it is our job to determine what goes on that.
And what they're watching.
Yeah. That's a key. And it's hard because I'm still learning how to figure out the tech to put on parental controls. I'm still trying to figure out how to turn off my Wi-Fi so that I can have family time. I figured that out. So you see, it's just, I wish I had all the answers now. I wish I did. I don't.
You'll never have all the answers.
I wish I did. I don't.
You wish, but you'll never have all the answers.
But I find that my anxiety goes down. I feel like there's good, there's gracious. When
Let's turn your modem off. This way you disconnect yourself completely.
Daddy, that's the same thing as turning off the Wi-Fi.
Right.
Daddy.
Honey, I know that.
Well, just turn your modem off. Really? You just wanted to chime in?
Well,
Yeah, that's a Kenny chime in moment.
Probably.
I love
More
you.
likely.
Just a little tidbit.
I'm sorry?
Just a little tidbit.
A little tidbit.
Oh, yeah, you bet.
But I don't know. It's just.
I'll tell you one funny thing.
Oh, there they go.
Here comes the March of the Four.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 of them.
Oh, is it the kids getting on the bus?
Oh no, they don't have
that's
school.
Right, they don't
They're
have
probably
school.
going to daycare.
The baby's coming here shortly.
He's so
So it's
Corbin, let me
Oh.
hold him.
We got our Bible notification.